What's your chief aim? Do you have one? Is it clear? Have you defined your dream, and do you have a burning desire for its achievement? The thinking is the most important part, but what's the catalyst for the thinking? What makes it happen? Define your dream and have a burning desire for its achievement. There's two parts to that. To define your dream and then have a burning desire. As we look at people and we evaluate success principles, the key element that's lacking is that burning desire. How do you get it? How do you know you have it? To find out the answers, let's go back to ancient China thousands of years ago. We are, without doubt, the most advanced society in history. We have machines. We have evaluation techniques that let us know if we have a broken leg. We have MRIs to the brain. We have the technology, but why can't we see inside someone if they have the burning desire? Can you see inside of you if you have the burning desire to get your chief aim, to have, be, or do anything and everything that you want in life? Let's go on our journey. Millions of people around the world have seen the movie Star Wars, and they talk about the Force. And a lot of people think that movie was just created from somebody's mind. It wasn't. It was based on thousands of years ago in ancient China, where they discovered the Force. Your internal workings, what's happening inside. Many people refer to it as chi energy or the vital energy. So what is this mystical force that's been around for thousands of years that most people in the Western world have never heard of, let alone discovered? Let's find your force. What ancient monks questioned was, why, if our mind or brain controlled our thinking, why did we have such strong feelings in our stomach? If our mind controlled everything, why did our gut determine how we felt? Why did our stomach dictate our feelings? They had the same questions and observations that we do today. Oftentimes we say, well, it all made sense logically, but my gut told me not to do it. Or, I got the bad news and I felt sick to my stomach. Or, I made a mistake. I should have followed my gut instinct. Why do we have these strong feelings in our stomach that oftentimes are smarter or more correct than our brains are? Well, if you talk to Western doctors and ask them to identify what this very strong feeling is, where it comes from, how it works, how the nerves go to the body, what's the vehicle for this very strong feeling that we have in our stomach? It can't be seen on an X-ray, a CAT scan, or an MRI. So modern science, with all its technology, cannot see where these very strong feelings are. They're real, but we really can't figure them out. The reason for this is, it's not a tangible force, but it's an energy and a power that's within us all. The reason you can't see it on an X-ray, it's not tangible, but we all know we have it. In fact, as the ancient monks discovered, it is our second brain that 99% of the world has never tapped into. Here are the facts. All successful, wealthy people have the ability to tap into this force, into this power, It's one of the keys to success. Back to ancient China, through years of meditation, the monks discovered a power within them. This power or force allowed them to do superhuman feats. In addition, they were able to call on this power or this force whenever they needed it. They completely controlled it. This internal power or energy allowed them to complete control of their mind and body. The physical power they called Kung Fu, and the internal or inner force they called Neigong. The art of Neigong allowed the ancient monks to tap into their full potential by eliminating blockages that all human beings have in their energy flow and in their vibration. In the 1960s, a young man from Hong Kong exposed the art of Kung Fu to the Western world. In the 1970s, he released the highest grossing martial arts movies of all time. These included The Big Boss, Fists of Fury, Return of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon, and Game of Death. That young man's name was Bruce Lee, and he's regarded among his peers as the premier Kung Fu expert of all time. Many people did not know that Bruce Lee was decades ahead of his time in his philosophical views. How could a young man that weighed 135 pounds and was 5 feet 7 inches tall physically do the incredible things that he did with his body? Well, the answer to that is Bruce Lee mastered the force and the power within him. Around the time of Bruce Lee's untimely death in 1973, another young man, a 16-year-old from Embrun in eastern Canada, became intrigued with Bruce Lee's philosophies and his accomplishments. His name was JacquesPatenaude. Although Jacques had studied karate, he understood very clearly that Bruce Lee had special powers and very different philosophical views on martial arts.
Don't think, feel. It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Views that he had never heard or seen before. Then the journey began, that decades later would result in the Patenaude family becoming the first family of Kung Fu in North America, and hundreds of thousands of people benefiting from his unique philosophy of Fang Shen Do, or translated into English, the way of survival. Jacques spent thousands of hours, read hundreds of books, researching these ancient principles. He studied Bruce Lee and his new philosophies. He traveled and learned from masters in these philosophies. Jacques became a master, a modern-day master of Kung Fu and the philosophical studies that align with it. Jacques was so passionate about his new discoveries that in 1975 he started teaching Kung Fu for free at no charge in a community center in the basement of a church. Jacques then opened his first studio in 1979 and started teaching these principles to the public in Ottawa, Canada. Jacques has been credited for customizing these ancient teachings, these principles and philosophies, and translating them into the modern-day Western world. In short order, world masters in martial arts were starting to ask the question, who is JacquesPatenaude and what is Fang Shen Do?
I got to meet Bruce Lee in 1963. I knew him for 10 years, and I met him at a Kung Fu demonstration. To come back and see the cutting-edge training that Sijo and the sons, the brother-in-law, the Sifus have created is very, very impressive. I've never had the urge to endorse a chain before, and I endorse this chain. This is amazing.
As Jacques and his wife Linda continued to teach their Fang Shen Do philosophy to students around the world, one key question kept coming up. How do we reach that inner power? How can we get that force and apply it to our lives? The first thing Jacques and Linda addressed was, why could some people tap into this power and others could not? Jacques and Linda found the answer by combining age-old Eastern secrets and the more current laws of success. Through the ancient teachings of Neigon, combined with the Bruce Lee philosophy and current laws of success, Jacques and Linda found the answer to this seemingly unanswerable question. They found that the feelings that everyone has in their stomach were absolutely real and in fact were right 100% of the time. Statements like, I knew it in my gut. My gut told me not to do it. My intuition was right and the logic was wrong were not a mystery at all. That we really do have a second brain in our stomach, exactly as the ancient monks said in China. Some people define it as a soul or an inner self. They call it intuition, etc., etc. In addition, this second brain, once ignited, once tapped into, could deliver someone to be able to have, be, or do whatever they wanted in life. That this second brain, combined and working in unison with the right thinking, was the key to success. The Patenaude family have grown up together, applying and living by the Fang Shen Do philosophy. This philosophy is now third generation. They're the largest direct Kung Fu school in North America. They have a 16-acre customized compound. One of the principles that has made the Fang Shen Do system so successful is the mentor-student system. The grandmaster, grandfather, or general is called the Sijo. Next is the uncle, or the protector of the system. They're called the Sibok. Then it's the Sifu, and the Sifu is the teacher or the master. And now, please welcome the Sijo and founder of Fang Shen Do, along with his wife of 38 years, Linda and JacquesPatenaude.
Hello, my name is Linda Patenaude. Hello, my name is JacquesPatenaude. Welcome to all gym members from around the world.
I just want to give you a little bit of our story. Jacques and I have been married for almost 38 years. We're going to be sharing with you some great information to help you tap into the force, excite your burning desire, and attain anything that you want in life. For us, for me, it's like a dream come true. We're living our dreams. We are so happy together. We have great kids, we have great grandkids, and we even have one more on the way. We can't wait. And for me, as you probably know me from before, I'm a person who's really interested in the family aspect of everything. I love the family unity. I love to see people happy, and I love to be a part of helping those people get happy. And hopefully with our seminar, we're going to help you out and find out what you were meant to do, meant to be, and we really want you to succeed as well.
We'll be sharing concepts and techniques that we have developed over 30 years. That's what we used, the core principles we used to develop as a family, both personally and also in the martial art. And I believe by knowing yourself, by tapping into this power that you have, this force that you have, this energy, or this second brain, I believe you can reach all your goals and dreams, because when there's clarity in the mind, there's power. When there's clarity in the mind, there's power. It's really, really important to understand that. There's many lessons that were taught in the martial arts, and I come from the Bruce Lee lineage of the family, and it's really, really important what Bruce Lee did as well to tap into this power. And you'll see, as you can see on the video, you'll see all kinds of concept and drills and different skills that we'll be imparting with you. In the end, it's all about energy. A lot of people know about this energy, but they can't really tap into it. Until you're shown how to tap into it, you don't really know how to use this. You can also eventually give it a direction, give it something that will work towards your own goals and dreams and your own power as an individual.
So thank you, and we'll see you later.
Every time I go to gym events, I've been to all the gym events and major events, and also to overview meeting and affiliate training and also on and so forth. I always meet people who have a hard time to find their chief aim and to ignite that force and get that burning desire going. So I say, well, what's the problem? The problem is that most people don't know about it. Like, it's been around for thousands of years. In China, when you go in the East, people are automatically more knowledgeable. Maybe not so much now, but before they were more knowledgeable. There was teachers ready to teach and impart this knowledge. So this is the problem. The problem is that it's there, but people can't tap into it or don't know how to tap into it. So the problem is it's not there. It's there. In Jin, we're meeting people and we're finding out we're coming together to share knowledge and to share different teachers, different speakers bringing different bits of knowledge. So what I'm trying to do here, or what I will do, is really to bring you, closer to yourself, closer to your breath, because really that force is really an inner job. And if you have blockages, if you have meridians that are blocked, and you are not congruent between your abdominal, the abdominal brain and the top brain, it's just not gonna work. You're gonna find a way to mess it up down the road. So it's really, really important to, what is the problem? The problem is, it's not because it's not there. We need mentors. You need a teacher. You need a mentor to help you to excite this and also to know it. Once you know it, then it's like a new friend. You have to revisit all the time to get acquainted with this new friend, because most people are out there. They're just out there. They're really, really just psychological. They're just out there and they're not feeling it down. And like Bruce Lee was talking about on the video, feel it or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. What does that mean? It means really take your focus and bring it inside. Bring it down inside. Your Tantien, in Chinese we say with a Tantien. So it's like all those words really to talk about energy, to talk about the second brain, to talk about the force within. Once you know this force, once you ignite it, once you have knowledge of it, it's also to give it direction, because it can be just sitting there as unused potential. You want to take this potential and you want to make it work. You want to give it a direction in life. We are in a fortunate position in the martial art because this is what we do. We have different levels, different sasha, different rank, and we are slowly becoming friends with this force, and we're giving a direction in life towards a marriage, a good marriage, towards a burning desire, towards your chief aim. This is what it's all about, because once you're married, you're married. So you build a life together, and once you have a business, well, there's different steps, and you give it direction, you nourish it. So you gotta water it by training, by feeling it, by meditating on it. What does it mean? The word meditation is a big word. It simply means to journey within, the spiritual journey within oneself. And this is what we're going to be sharing. Next time I meet you, we will, those of you who are interested, we will really go deeper and deeper in this. And we'll also help you to really bring it to you, to your realization, because it's all about self-realization or self-knowledge. It's really, really important to understand that. This is what we've been doing in the martial arts system of Feng Shen Do. Feng Shen Do, when you see the Do, means individuality. We are all individual. We all breathe on our own. So the big thing really is there's different scenarios, different techniques, different ways to do learn the martial art, also learn to tap into the force. You gotta concentrate within. You gotta have certain techniques. Also, you need a mentor. You need somebody. I had mentors before. So it's really important. Without a mentor, it's going to take you a few lifetimes to understand. So the power of Jin is coming together, and get it sooner. Get it sooner so we can enjoy it for the next 50 to 100 years. Really, really important to understand that most people will not stop, and they will always judge psychologically instead of allowing themselves maybe to open their own school, because the school is here, the second brain. Everything is there. Here are the three things needed to tap into the force. There's three specific things needed. I'll start with the psychological. Psychologically, you have to want it. You have to accept it. I was reading something a while ago and was talking about aging or ageless. And this person was mentioning, first of all, you have to psychologically accept that. Accept that you can last to 100 years old. Accept this. So psychologically, you got to get the thinking right and the attitude right. The right thinking, like we're being taught in Jin, the right thinking, the rich thoughts, the right thinking is really, really important. Most people their thinking is all upside down. It's not straight. It's not clear. It's not powerful. What you're saying to yourself, the words you're using internally is very, very important. Actually, it's very important. Self-love begins with you. It's really, really important. It's, I want to love the universe. I want to love the whole planet. Well, it starts with you. You cannot love unless you have self-love. So you have to understand psychologically the power that you have. It has to do with your thoughts. It has to do with your clear thinking, the right thinking, but also the clear thinking why you want this. When I first started to tap into this thing, I was taught, and eventually by rehearsing, repetition is the mother of skill, by doing it over and over, it was sinking into my subconscious mind. So it's really important consciously to accept this new mentality or this new way of learning. And it has to start with your psychological. So psychologically, like we say in psychology, it's really powerful. Some people are really powerful with their mind. They can concentrate solidly. They can project. They're clear on their thoughts. And eventually, that will sink into what I will eventually talk about, which is the second and then the third thing. That will also bring you into tapping your own force. Really, the purpose of this concept, this seminar, is really to tap into your force. It's not tapping into my force. I'm going to help you to tap into your force. So it's really leading by example. Once a candle is lit, the purpose of this person is to light other candle. And this starts with the right thinking, the why thinking, the rich thoughts, the right thoughts. And because from thoughts are things. From thoughts follows feelings. Always. Thoughts are things. So the right thinking is really important. Most people I meet, their thinking is all screwed up. I mean, it's not right. The thinking, you can't never achieve anything like that. If you say, well, I'm going from right to left. Why are you doing this? I don't know why. I'm going because he told me so. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Sometimes we see this in our big organization. Once you know why, psychologically you're clear. You're really clear. And it's like the Chinese say, the future is pitch black and the past is crystal clear. You see, it just gives you just a feeling of clarity. So I have different stories that I will share with you. Why? And it's like it brings you back always to yourself. We also include self-discipline, because unless you work for somebody, if you work for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, you're working for yourself, you're going to kick your own butt. Nobody else is going to do that for you. So you have to get up and you have to have a set of personal rules, what you're going to do when you get up in the morning. Also, which book are you going to read? Most people don't read books. Most people, they tell them what to do. They do it for a while and then they forget about it. I have at least 1,500 books in my library, and I've read and I've underlined all of them over the years, in 35 years, in 33 years of being in the martial art business. So it's really important psychologically, what you want psychologically, to be clear, the right thinking, also the discipline that you're going to do it. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. So like Katie says, read the right books, attend the functions, participate in recognition. All what we're taught in Jin is applicable here. It's really, really important to be clear on your thinking and why you want something and what's holding you back. And really the person holding you back is really you. It's always us. The school, I say the kingdom or the school of learning is within you. Those are really the first step. The first step is the psychological on tapping into the force. But let's face it, you have to be able to at least do this. This is the basic. If you cannot discipline yourself to read, if you cannot discipline yourself to train, if we teach you special techniques and how to tap into the force and you ain't going to do it, it's not going to work. There's got to be something that you do, that you repeat daily, and you do it. You just plain do it. So it's really important to understand that first part. You have to want it, but you also have to do it. Once you reveal something, it's like somebody gives you a gift. What are you going to do with the gift? Are you going to use it? Are you going to embellish it? Are you going to make it flourish? Are you going to share it? Are you going to make it grow? So it's the same idea. This special meditation that I do, you have to meditate in the morning. 15 minutes on each technique. There's 4 techniques. You have to do it. You have to psychologically discipline yourself that you're going to do it. If not, it's just going to be knowledge potential unused. You have to grow physically, psychologically, emotionally, and all the rest. You have to give it a direction to this force. Otherwise, you're going to meditate on it. You're just going to meditate on it. You're going to enjoy the feeling, but you're not going to do anything with it. You have to make it go somewhere. In martial art, there's a fine line that says you point when you want your energy to go. I remember an incident one time I was sitting on the bus and I'm looking at this guy and I'm meditating. I'm looking at this guy in the back of the bus. Then he looks at me. He's not looking at me. He's on the side. He's looking at me. So your energy travels. You point where you want your energy to go. You point it to your goals. You point it to your dreams. You bring it back to your burning desire and your chief aim. But you have to know, you have to do the work. It's not going to happen by itself. Whether it's Tai Chi, Neigong, or anything, you have to repeat the movements and certain movements every day. And sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. You have to do this. You say, well, I have to work. Well, we all have to do different things. But you have to want to do this, and you have to know the reason why you're doing this. So this is really the first step in tapping to the force. So the second part, the second tool that we're going to be using here to ignite the force is the physical. And I've heard it before, you have to pass by the physical in order to get to the spiritual, psychological, and be able to feel. So you have to pass by the physical to develop awareness of yourself. I will be showing different techniques as we go along to tap into this force inside of you using the physical. Now, physical development, Bruce Lee on the video match it. You can see his body. He matches it so well. In the martial art, we are very fortunate because we are constantly working with the physical. The breath, the muscle, the breathing, the awareness. A lot of exercise that we do have to do with stickability, with power, with energy. So you don't have to go out and acquire big muscles to do all that. If you have big muscles, that's okay. Only develop what is yours. Your body is perfect for you. Your height is perfect for you. Sometimes I wonder, I wish that was a little bit taller. Then again, I look at myself in the mirror and said, you're perfectly all right. I like myself, I love myself the way I am. So to understand your physical, because the physical will take you to your goals. So the physical is going to be top-notch physical fitness. Really important. If you need to acquire more power, you're going to do that. More flexibility. You should be able to do this at 70 years of age. You should be able to take your palms and touch the floor in front. You should be able to go like this. I didn't warm up. You should be able to do this at 70 years of age. So the body, in psychology, if you accept that you are an ageless being, that's going to be easier. But you have to pass by the physical. So we have numerous techniques to do all that in Feng Shui Do, in how to tap into the force. Some have to do with salutation. Some have to do with a bow. Some have to do, as soon as you do this, it will take you inside. It will also build self-awareness to you, your own self-awareness. Because most people I meet in and out of Jinn are totally, some are not aware, period, that they're living even in the body. They're completely disconnected from this brain to this brain. Some are disconnected from the body. So flexibility exercise helps you to connect. Tap into the force, puts you in contact with it. Also, to be a little bit more flexibility. When there's flexibility of mind and of body, this also equals to more life. More motion, more life. More flexibility, more life. Rigidness, if you're too rigid in thinking, rigid in the body, that equals death. So you want to flow. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water, man. Let water, be like water, man. Not too long ago, we have attended a special meditation techniques, and the master was talking about the body being 70% water. So 70% water with another person, you love another person 70% water, but in actual reality, this is a miracle by itself. You're walking on the face of the earth 70% water. Your body is that. You have to make it flow. So we have different techniques to make it flow, to develop what we call the combat flow, or the chi sao flow, or the internal flow of your energy. And physically, but this is all felt physically. Without a body, you can't do that. So it's really, really important to master the body. It will follow. Master the mind, psychology. Also the body. Really important. I love to train to the point of exhaustion. I don't say it. I just love it. Because it brings a special power within me. it stirs different emotion within me, and it expands my emotion. So it's really, really cool. So we will be talking quite a bit about the physical, because being a martial arts system, we are a moving system. We have different movements that we teach you. We have all this flexibility, power, mental power, emotional power, physical power. We all are integrating this as one unit into your being. And that will also tap into your force. Easily, we guarantee results. Guarantee results. When I meet you and we do this seminar, I guarantee results. I guarantee you will leave feeling your energy more and more on a deeper level. I guarantee it. Psychologically, emotionally, physically. Also, you'll be able to know with clarity your chief aim and your burning desire. Because of the drills that we will be teaching you. You will know. You will not just believe you know. You will simply know. Now I want to talk about the salute. We have a special salute when we come into the school, and when we come into the seminar, we teach you that mentality, that concept. It's quite unique. Instead of shaking hand, we have a salute. Means when we enter the dojo and when we exit, when we ask a question of the Sijo, Sifu, Sibak, we have a special salute. It goes like this. You close your fist into a tight fist, right fist. You take your left hand, fingers together, thumb on the outside, and you press here. This is the salute. This is power, control. You want to control your power, and respect. Respect starts with you, always. Power, control, respect. I simply bow, acknowledging the school within you, the divine within you, and you do the same. The highest mountain on the floor is the Sifu and the Sibak. Sijo means grandfather. So when you walk into the school, you acknowledge the highest rank. If it's a black sash, it's a black sash, but it's simply called a salute. And I will teach you this. And this is the beginning or the basic on how to tap into your force. By simply doing this, it kind of moves your energy in a very different way. By simply doing this, it kind of takes my energy and brings it here. Like I'm focused on my second brain, my abdominal brain, and I simply do this. Notice my center of gravity is down a little bit. My elbows are bent. There's the reason for all this. And I'm doing a bow. Doing a bow. It's a very nice way to greet one another. It's like a salute in the army. It's like we're here. We're parking our ego at the door. We're ready to train. We're ready to knowledge. We're ready to absorb knowledge. And we're ready to participate in the class. Follow our mentor, our teacher here. Very important. The concept applies as well in Jin. When we go to major events, especially major events, we walk into the hall, the room, with an open mind, a flexible open mind. We're ready, when we bow, we're ready to absorb knowledge. When KT comes on the floor with all the speakers, we're ready to absorb. We are both a teacher and a student. We're ready to absorb. Bruce Lee used to put it this way: absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add specifically what is your own. Park the ego at the door, meaning every time empty the cup. There's a story, Japanese, of the Zen ceremony, the tea ceremony, and the young student goes and sees this master, and then he said, "Would you like a cup of tea?" He said, "Yes." Then they start to pour the tea, and the young student is full of doubts and of questions and yes and but, and I don't know, I don't think so. So they're drinking the tea. The master pours the tea, and he pours over the cup. The cup is over full. And the young student says, "What are you doing? You're pouring over my, I mean, it's full, it's over full." He says, "Exactly like you are. Your mind, your learning is exactly the same way. It's over full. You must empty a little bit so you can take in, so you can absorb." Most people are like this in life. Not just in the martial art, in business, in different things. They know everything. They never empty their cup. They never take in this special lectures that this special teacher has to say, and kind of take that in without judgment. Just take it in and kind of swimming in what is being said. So every time we participate in a gym event, let's remember that. Let's give respect, recognition, but let's give respect to listen and absorb. It's going to be much easier. I don't think we have to get up and bow, but the same concept applies to bring more awareness to your inner force, to the force within you. So remember this, and this is why we do this in the martial art. The concept of the tea. There's so many lessons in the martial art that we can apply in Jin, and vice versa, and in life. I'm really living the life I'm meant to live, doing what I do. I just love it, and I want to spread more. And sometimes you do have to be a certain way by being self-disciplined, a certain stern look when you're teaching, because we want to make sure that we're both learning. The teacher is learning, the student is learning. Next thing I want to show you is called the salutation, the general salutation. When we enter the school, there's a bow. We bow in, bow out. After everybody is lined up with their clean uniform, their suit of the martial art, their sashes well ironed, we make rows, 4 or 5 rows, and we're ready to start the salutation. It's like saying hi and goodbye, and here we are ready to train. This is a really neat way that I've been practicing for over 40 years. And it goes something like this. It will also help you to tap into, this is the basic position to tap into your force. Because there's different things happening. You're going to be aware of your breath. You're going to be aware of your second brain. You're aware of your body. You're also aware of your speed, your rhythm, your coordination, the immovable elbow concept later on. All this is taking place. There's numerous amount of lessons taking place with the general salutation. And it goes like this. So it's always left to right. Every class we start and we finish. One more time. I will be teaching you this salutation. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 8 and 9. every time we do salutation, there's an expression of attitude, of psychological, of willingness to learn, like we're being taught in Jin. When you come to class, you have to be psychologically prepared. You have to be clear. So every time we do salutation, there's an energy, there's an expression of a certain willingness to learn, and also your attitude, because this is a new class, every class, and you bow. When you bow out, you do the same thing. It's like, thank you very much. I have learned. My school is full. I have learned. I have absorbed the lesson. I know the lesson, and I got the lesson. So every time we do salutation, all the concepts of being aware of your breath, of being psychologically know why you want something, why you're doing something, and clear, and your willingness to learn, all this taking place in that salutation. When you come to my 3-day event, I will go in details why.
What I really felt like I got the most out of is there was a lot of clarity. There were a lot of things that were distractions in my life prior to the seminar, and the philosophy and the exercises and the inner self-discovery that they took us on this journey really helped me see a lot of things that were previously unclear in my mind.
It really helped me to gather up the energy that I had inside and to learn how to feel and to move it around within my body, something that I hadn't anticipated this seminar was going to do. So I am very excited about the new skills that I learned, and I can't wait to incorporate them into my daily life.
I was very unstable physically. I did not know how weak I was really until I find out that I do have weaknesses. I would definitely recommend the seminar. They are very friendly, they're wonderful, the atmosphere is fantastic, and I definitely learned that I have internal power, that I have a connection within myself that I can actually project. By the end of the seminar, I was able to realize of my full potential, that I've been wasting a lot of time when I can actually be able to accomplish a lot more.
Guys, if you're just missing that burning sensation, that burn that we need to achieve our chief aim, this is definitely something you need to attend. I mean, there is a force inside of you that I never really knew I had, and I am so grateful for the opportunity, the know-how now to tap into it. And this is just the beginning of my journey. I'm so grateful to be here.
Especially if you're a couple, it's awesome to be able to do it with your mate and go through this experience together.
Yes, we did all the exercises as a couple, which was cool. No need to separate as in many other seminars, get away from your spouse. So that was really cool. And some of the various exercises were very well worked together, helped us understand each other better too.
Yes, amazing exercises, the breathing, the centering, everything was just totally awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure if I truly have the words to describe what this has meant to me, but I will quote Thich Nhat Hanh, the Nobel Prize-winning Buddhist monk, who said every journey starts with one conscious step. And I will tell you that I've learned so much more than that. It's incredible. The heart, the love, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Everybody should do this. What it's meant to me is an opening up of the heart, a releasing of this energy that I have probably kept blocked unconsciously. I'm learning to become a conscious human being rather than a human doing, and everybody on this planet could benefit from this energy and this from this teachings that I've gotten. And will be eternally grateful to the Patenaudes, who I now consider friends, lifelong friends.
Now let's move on to the third thing that needs to happen in order to tap into the force. Tracking your results, we will be using a progressive chart. We use a progressive chart in Feng Shen Do. We all do the same thing. So the progressive chart is simply a chart that you'll see on the wall, and it measures different goals that you have. In this case, will be how to tap into the force. You've heard KT say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Some of your goals, and especially your chief aim, can seem like a giant elephant at times, and this tool is especially effective at breaking it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Using 12 different boxes to be filled by you on different qualities, different strengths and weaknesses that you may have in order to achieve on the top box success. In martial arts, this is also the way we keep our students motivated to advance and learn the material and skills required to become a black belt. If students only had 2 belts, the white, the first belt, and the black belt, the last belt, it would seem like almost an insurmountable task to accomplish. This is why students are guided through a series of belts, much like Jin's 12 levels, starting from white, then to yellow, and then to blue, and so on until they reach a black belt level. This way, students stay motivated and experience many mini successes along the way. This is crucial to sticking to your plan and reaching your chief aim, and all of your secondary goals that you have on your dream board. Every box on the pyramid is a step closer to getting what you want. In this case, we will break down how to ignite the force within. As you see on the screen, the first box at the bottom, box number 1, is where you fill out what you need to accomplish. Once that is filled out, start thinking and filling out the next 12 boxes with what you think needs to happen in order to reach the goal you've set in box 1. These will be either qualities or steps you think are important to take in order to tap into the force that is flowing in you. There is no right order or right or wrong answers. Just write what comes to mind. Once you've filled out every box on your chart, start looking at the ones that you feel weaker in. Find 4 and put a star in the corner of each of those 4 boxes. These are the qualities you'll be focusing on for the next 30 to 90 days. This method of chunking or dissecting a goal into smaller, more manageable steps will bring about a lot of clarity and relief. Instead of feeling overwhelmed about where to start, this method will give you a clear map about what needs to be done and what you need to focus on in order to achieve your goals. Here are some examples of what you might write in the various boxes in order to ignite the force within. Physical techniques. Example: rich thoughts, rich thinking, patience, open and flexible mind, mentored life, and so on and so on. My friends, this is a very powerful tool. Use it to define any goal, task, or big dream you have. It will take you from feeling overwhelmed to having the calmness, clarity, and focus of a monk. This is the best way. I have been using this for 40 years on different subjects, anywhere from emotional maturity, psychological development, good marriage, good business, good school, martial artists. When we come into a martial arts school, we define the word martial artist. In this case here, we'll be defining the word how to tap into your burning desire, how to tap into your force. And this is really a revealing a chart about you. It will measure your success. It will give you a grading system, just like in the martial art with the sashes, with the learning of different levels. This will simplify your journey, may make it easier to know why you're doing Jin, also why you're doing what you're doing. And to become to that clarity of purpose, to understand clarity of purpose, why we do that, and where you're strong and where you're weak. And where you're weak, you'll try eventually. This is done for 1 month, and I extend it for 3 months. Everybody in our school brings the chart to the instructor month after month. So you go for 1 month, at the end of the month you may change a few things and progress, stay on the same defining goal, and go to a second phase, and then up to 3 months. And after 3 months you tend to stay organized, and you tend to have done some really good progress in that particular quality, particular goal. This will also help you to tap into your force of uniting, of integrating psychological, emotional, physical into one direction of energy towards your goals and dreams.
Well, everybody, we're living our dreams, and we really want to help you get yours as well. So finding out how to tap into that burning desire and get what you want in life. See you soon.
Of course, this was only a small segment of how to tap into the force. There's much more. We go a lot more in depth as we go into our 3-day event. Well, thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you're going to learn some stuff. There was some basics, a lot of basic material was shared today, and you can learn this for yourself and help to at least initially excite your force on your own. And also, I hope you take advantage of all the other webinars as well. Some great information out there from other speakers. I want to thank KT and the Gin Council for doing a fine job for moving Gin forward. And we're looking forward to grow Gin worldwide, and to be there, and to come together as a family, and also as a great bunch of individuals sharing information about success and about growth and about dreams and so on. Thank you very much for being here.